can't oversleep. I'm often asked whether or not we can get too much sleep and whether or not sleeping too long, can make us groggy the next day. Is there anything to that? And how does one determine how long they should sleep on average?
On average, yeah. Well, that's interesting because different people seem to need different amounts of sleep, but we don't really even know exactly what sleep is for. So what they need is, it's murky. So we do know a lot of things that sleep does now for us, but we don't know how long those things take. So how long we need to sleep is also just a big question mark. But some people don't feel rested until they've slept 9 hours. And some people don't feel rested after 3 or 4.5. But most people, if they consistently deprive themselves of sleep so that they're only sleeping 4.5 hours a night, build up a cognitive deficit that just builds up over time. The more nights you have with sleep deprivation, the more cognitive deficit you have. And so you need sleep, again, to sleep more to recover. Now, the question you had about can you oversleep?
Can you sleep to the point where it's too much? Growing up, when I was in high school, my girlfriend's dad had this belief that no one should sleep in past 6 a.m. So he'd wake there were 2 children in that home. He would wake up the kids in that house. He had this thing against oversleeping, regardless of when people went to sleep. And I always thought that was an interesting mentality.
Yeah, it's not terrible, actually, because what that will do is it will make you sleepier the next night to get to bed on time. So it'll build up your homeostatic need if you wake up too early. But so I don't think you can oversleep, but people who sleep a lot, like people who sleep over 9 hours, it's probably indicative of some other problem because, in fact, if you have a lot of different conditions, it will cause you to sleep a lot more, probably because what it does is it interferes with your efficient sleep, the efficiency of your sleep. So if you find yourself sleeping consistently 9 hours plus every night, then you might want to consult a doctor about maybe what else it might be. It could be cancer. It could be sleep apnea, that affects a lot of people. It could be that your sleep is super inefficient because you're snoring a lot more than you know, or you're waking up a lot more than you know every night. So you might want to sleep study just to see how your sleep is and then see what else might be causing you to sleep so much.
And that wouldn't be if somebody is sleeping 9 or 10 hours, every once in a while. You mean if they're consistently sleeping for more than 9 hours?
If they feel like they need it in order to function cognitively the next day, it might be that your sleep is just not efficient, and you might want to look into why that's the case.
Interesting.